Today, I would like to pose a question, and I want to pose it as a question because I'm not so sure if I have an opinion or an answer myself. I haven't seen this topic garner much discussion online, but with a few quick Google searches, I did happen to find a Reddit thread from 7 years ago asking, what was Danzo and Hiruzen's relationship? Obviously, this is a Naruto discussion. If you don't like Naruto, go ahead and click away. But if you love peculiar, odd Naruto theory, then you're going to want to hit that subscribe button, the like button, and stay tuned. Well, I want to thank user Chaos Doggy for starting to sniff this theory out. Chaos Doggy, what was the relationship? Let me take it a step further and pose this question, a new question. Did Danzo Shiruma love Hiruzen Sarutobi? That's the question. I know on the surface it seems crazy and totally unlikely, but let's take a bit of a deep dive into Danzo and Hiruzen and see what the relationship was really all about. Danzo first appears in the Naruto anime in episode 32 of Shippuden, The Return of the Kazekage. In this episode, we see the conclusion to the first arc of the Shippuden anime, where Naruto, Sakura, Kakashi, and others rescue the current Kazekage, Gaara, after defeating members of the Akatsuki, namely Sasori and Deidara. At the end of this episode, we are introduced to Danzo, the leader of the Foundation. The Foundation is an underground organization made up of elite ninja chosen from the Anbu Black Ops. Sai, who eventually becomes a team member of Team 7, is also a member of the Foundation and reports directly to Danzo. Ultimately, Danzo is a side character in Naruto without a lot of screen time, and not much is known about him or gets revealed throughout the story. However, a key story element is the differing views among the Leaf Elders, which includes Danzo, and how Naruto should be handled with the current events and risk of an Akatsuki attack. This is an important factor in Danzo and Hiruzen's relationship, as they view differently how the Leaf should be run. Danzo has a more hard-nosed, conservative view, while Hiruzen puts all of his faith in the youth of the Leaf, and would do anything to protect them. This is evident when he gives his life to protect the Leaf, fighting Orochimaru in the original Naruto. On the surface, this would lead a viewer to believe they did not like each other, or may even hate each other. But enough about Danzo and who he was. Altogether, not much is revealed about Danzo until a specific episode, episode 211 of Shippuden, rightly named Danzo Shiruma. In this episode, we see an intense battle between Sasuke and Danzo come to a close. In the fight, Sasuke confronts Danzo about his brother Itachi. Danzo reveals the truth to Sasuke, confirming that Itachi was used to carry out the Leaf's execution order on the Uchiha clan. This confirms Sasuke's hatred towards Danzo and the rest of the Leaf Elders, leading to his hatred of the entire Leaf Village, and giving him the green light to kill Danzo then and there. Throughout the battle, Danzo uses a forbidden visual jutsu by the name of Izanagi, which essentially prevents the user's death from occurring. This jutsu is only made possible by the countless Uchiha eyes Danzo has acquired over time. During the battle, Sasuke pushes Danzo to a point where Danzo takes Karin, a member of Sasuke's group Taka, hostage. Sasuke shows immense brutality and cold-bloodedness when he strikes right through Karin to hit Danzo in a vital spot. Right before this, we are hit with a bone-chilling still frame, which is one of my favorites from the anime, and here it is. Danzo is mortally wounded and heads towards Tobi, as he knows how dangerous he is to the Leaf. Sasuke stalks Danzo down the bridge, menacingly from behind. While Sasuke stalks, we are blessed with a flashback of Danzo's memories. The flashback shows an intense situation between Hiruzen and Danzo. Shortly after meeting up with a few allied Leaf Ninja in the second Hokage, the group is forced into making a difficult decision. The second Hokage, Tobirama, informs the group they are surrounded by highly skilled enemy ninja and that escape would be nearly impossible. A decoy must be named. We are given a glimpse into Danzo's thoughts, telling himself that he is a ninja and prepared for this moment. Interestingly, during his thoughts, his mind drifts to Hiruzen, and he thinks about what he's thinking about. He struggles to offer himself as the decoy, resulting in Hiruzen volunteering. Danzo is met with instant relief at Hiruzen's actions. Ultimately, Tobirama names himself the decoy and Hiruzen the new Hokage. Danzo's jealousy is made extremely evident. We snap back to the present, where Danzo is coming to the realization that, like his master before him, his time has come. Danzo's death occurs, releasing the four symbols sealing jutsu he placed on himself. This is a powerful ninjutsu activated upon the user's death, releasing four symbols from the user's blood. Anything caught inside the sphere around the user is sealed in the jutsu user's body. Sasuke and Tobi do both escape the sealing jutsu, and Danzo unfortunately dies alone. Upon his death, we are hit with another short flashback. It shows a much younger Danzo and Hiruzen frolicking through flowers and playing ninja. Danzo is left wondering one thing at the moment of his death, and that's how Hiruzen felt about him. He poses the question, Hiruzen, what was I to you? This quote is quite possibly the main argument for an affirmative answer to my question, does Danzo love Hiruzen? I would say there are essentially three pieces of evidence that kind of go hand in hand that would lead me to this conclusion. Obviously, there is a whole host of evidence that would lead me in the other direction, but that's not what this shit's about. The first is this quote, what was I to you? Earlier in the episode, we see Karin betrayed by Sasuke. She is seemingly mortally wounded and stunned by the Chidori stream that just struck her. This is moments after letting the guy suck on her arm for some precious chakra, for God's sake. She has always admired Sasuke, looked up to Sasuke, she was there for Sasuke and Taka, and she most certainly loved Sasuke. After being brutally betrayed by him, she is only left wondering, Sasuke, what was I to you? At the moment of what Karin could assume to be her death, she only cares one thing, what Sasuke thought of her. That's honestly really tough to consume considering the situation. Karin most definitely didn't deserve what happened to her in my eyes. As we know, Karin does make it through thanks to Sakura, and she ends up being a prisoner of war in the Leaf Village. I think the fact these quotes are included in the same episode is not coincidence, and it could infer Danzo had stronger feelings for Hiruzen. Now, I know that the identical quotes may just be because they're a common phrase, but this leads me into my next fact, a supporting fact for the affirmative. It is not difficult to see Kishimoto and Date have a tendency for direct comparisons. Basically, the entire Naruto timeline is a direct comparison. You can draw character comparisons between Sasuke and Orochimaru, and Naruto and Jiraiya, which goes all the way back to Madara and the first Hokage Hashirama. Characters even share direct quotes throughout the show. Namely, Naoki, Tsunade's kid brother, shares his dream of becoming Hokage with Naruto. They share the direct quotes, and these direct comparisons are even used to carry on the story. Naruto's identical quote and likeliness to Naoki is one of the main reasons Tsunade came around on the idea of becoming Hokage in the first place. All in all, direct comparisons are a main theme used throughout Naruto, so the fact that these quotes are included in the same episode should not be overlooked. Finally, the last argument, which I'm calling, since there's not really a name for it, everyone's moment of death. I personally have not died, so I'm not quite sure what I would think or what would happen at my death's calling. But I'd like to think I'd get to recap my favorite moments shared with the people I loved most. In Naruto, we get quite a few flashbacks. Not saying they're good or everyone loves them, but we get them. That's a fact. In this episode, and others, when people are at death's door, they recall the people they love. Karin thinks of Sasuke when she's betrayed. She thinks of him as she's fading away, and recalls memories of him while she's being healed by Sakura. Itachi, upon his death, is obviously only thinking of Sasuke, the person he loves most in his life. Danzo, with four symbols sealing jutsu abound, can only think of one event and one person, Hiruzen. He's left wondering what he was to him and thinking only of him and memories they shared. As I mentioned previously, I'm not sure whether Kishimoto and Date intended for viewers to make this sort of assumption. I believe with the evidence I've laid out that an argument could be made for Danzo loving Hiruzen. I'm not sure even if this was intentional or to be true love or more just admiration. It could mean that Danzo changed at the moment of his death and started to see things from Hiruzen's perspective. I like to think that there could be a possibility for love, but ultimately I will let you decide. Thank you so much for listening to my incoherent Naruto rambling. If you thought I made a case for Danzo wanting to get down on Hiruzen's old man balls, then leave a comment and a like, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Thanks, guys. Bye.